It's up to us to keep these things going, keep talking about the music created by those who have passed on. Oh, man. It's like when you're ordering a burger somewhere and they're like, you want the special sauce on it? You're like, hell yeah, I do. Oh, man. Who wore it better? This might be a blasphemous answer, but... Welcome back to Low End University, and here we are, the final episode in this month's Who Wore It Better series. I'll definitely bring this theme back in the future, but if you've missed it, we've just been comparing original songs with cover songs and seeing who did them better. But today we're closing it out with one more Patreon-voted entry. Today I'm hearing Soulmate for the very first time, originally by No Use for a Name, and it's from the band's third studio album, Leche con Carne, released in 1995, which of course translates to Milk with Meat. As I've mentioned in past episodes, it did not take me long to figure out that Tony Sly was a deeply respected figure in the punk world, and even more so following his untimely passing in 2012. His songwriting and delivery carried an emotional honesty that clearly left a lasting mark on the punk scene, and I constantly see our Patreon community talking about the tribute album released in his honor, and that's where today's cover originated. Even among the flood of requests I've gotten for this series, I've noticed that this specific Strung Out cover version of this song has repeatedly shown up in the YouTube comments. That alone makes it feel like a fitting way to close things out. But before we get there, we start with the original. Here's Soulmate from No Use for a Name. Down here in A flat, maybe tuned down a step. Ooh, I think it was a flat 7 there. Okay, I've never seen Tony Sly, like what he looks like, just somebody I constantly hear about. And, you know, the song Soulmate, I wanted to be sure I read the lyrics beforehand. I need to get better about doing that every episode on YouTube. It just adds more context, but it's something I really focus on when I do full albums on Patreon. I think just YouTube. It's one song. Let's make it about the music and the bass parts. But I like the storyboarding lyrically in terms of it starts off, Monday morning you woke up crying. Okay, a couple thoughts get introduced. Then we say, Tuesday night you were in a fight. Now, I don't see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it adds this time element to the lyrics because lyrics can sometimes be ambiguous about time frame. It can maybe flashback or go forward and you don't really know. It can all be in a single moment. You know, there's really no rules there, but when you put things like that in there, it establishes this kind of narrative that day by day is going by and there's something as a common thread through time. And it seems like a pretty, I don't want to say down on yourself song, but it kind of has this feeling of loneliness, like somebody being chronically alone, being hard on themselves. I'm not too sure, but what I do know is that sometimes I miss out on lyrics being tied to certain things in the song. We have this flat 7, I think, here. We're here in A flat. I think they're down tune a step. That's tonic on the 1, goes up to the 5. The 6 chord, the minor, and then down to the 4. So A flat major, F, G, A flat. But there's a G flat here, which they put right behind one of these lyrics. I'm just curious what it is now. Crying, the outcome of a stupid line, said by some punk ass on the street. Okay. It wasn't me, it wasn't you, it wasn't anybody. Right there. So instead of the F minor, which we heard before, now it's G flat major, which puts it as the 7. So it now goes from A flat major, technically it's using in the Mixolydian sound. So they would be borrowing that chord from A flat minor. So it's a borrowed minor chord type of thing, but they put it right under the words. It wasn't anybody you knew. And I don't know, sometimes I think songwriters might put certain chords or sounds to evoke a certain feeling under a certain lyric, like in real time, or put a certain flavor on that line. I try to pay attention to stuff more like that now, because I think it's important to the context of the song. But you'll notice that happens right when he sings, it wasn't anybody you knew. A little further ahead, sorry. Right there. Rewinding is a bitch sometimes. So it wasn't anybody you knew. Why that sound there, I don't know. We'll find out. Just getting a bass line here. No pun intended. Keep going. flat.
That's stuck by your side since you were born.
I've not really seen what any of these guys look like. Now, I was reading that the bassist during the recording of the song, Steve, was replaced by Matt Riddle, who I have heard on some of the other No Use for a Name episodes. So I don't really know what Matt Riddle looks like either, especially maybe way back then. I'm going to assume this is the Steve guy. Okay. Tuesday night, 4 Motion in Time. There it is again. I like that jump there. Gets back to the 5, which is a nice bring back to the 1. So this is just like good poppy writing. You have to have chords like this for infectious melodies. There's exceptions to that rule, sure. Jazz would just completely disagree with me, but the point is that you can really drive home the emotiveness of a feel-good chord progression when you have the right melody. And I think choosing the right chords that are familiar to people, I was just talking about this in, the episode earlier this week. Why is Linoleum NoFX's most popular song? Well, as I said in that video, I've heard a lot of outlier NoFX things, like Decline was one of the first songs. Idiots Taking Over, Death of John Smith, like these really technical things, but I haven't heard NoFX in like that simpler, like through that simpler lens where it's like, okay, everything's immediate. Here's the melody. We don't waste any time clutching at your heartstrings, whether it's something good or something bad, but it's something you can sink yourself into almost immediately and relate. Point being, this is a straightforward chord progression with one little twist that I feel like that's put in a specific place to wrap up a stanza. Last time it was, you woke up crying, the outcome of a stupid line said by some punk ass on the street. Then it was like, it wasn't anybody you knew that tied that line up. Now we've moved on to Tuesday night. You were in a fight, the same old argument, black and white. It's something that's eating you on the inside. So this feeling is kind of rolling forward day to day. See where it goes. Yeah, it stops on that 5, but it comes from here. It does this cool move. I guess that would be down to the 2 chord. Then we jump back to that flat 7. Go to the 1 for a second. Go to the E flat, the 5 chord. Brings us back to the 1. So good writing here. Again, it just is a playground for great melodies. Okay, right here. Right here. And back to F, the 6 chord. So that G flat lives right between where those 2 chords just landed. Love me some oohs and ahs. They make everything better. It really does. And I'm kind of picking up on this stuff. I'm trying to, as I always tend to do with these Who Wore It Better episodes, I guess this is the 9th one we've done this month, and the last one. I'm just thinking, how is this other band going to reinterpret this? And the last Strung Out episode I did, it was the second one in the installment. It was Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon, and Strung Out Spark at the Moon version, which was sick. Really cool. They made it really heavy. They down-tuned it, transformed it in a way much further than I thought they might. But this has the potential to be very similar, but maybe heavier, or maybe the motive is a little different on a tribute album to someone who's passed and you're trying to honor their legacy. So, the creative liberty could be completely different based on that. But I'm just trying to get a baseline, no pun intended, for some of the things happening here. Nothing going on in the bass department. Hugging the roots, driving it forward, but that could change in the cover version. Let's see. Oohs and ahs. You guys hear that chord? Because I did. What lyric was over that? These are things I like to nerd out on. So we did a big walk down. feel like it went all the way down to E natural. You hear that? Try and catch it. There you go, walking down. Yeah. So E natural, nowhere to be found in any of this. This is flats, right? There's E flat, we have the G flat. So this E natural, I would say that's the flat major 6 chord, borrowing it again from A flat minor, because in A flat minor, that E exists. It's major, 7 back to 1. So that's that flat major 6, flat major 7, 1 type of thing I talk about often. E major now, it's a jarring chord. And what lyric was under it? I wasn't even paying attention. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, it starts a new line there. What that means, you'll never have a clue. That's the most jarring chord we've heard in the song. I kind of thought the flat 7 was for a second. It was subtle, but this is... way out of nowhere. Right on the line, what that means, you'll never have a clue. Okay. Here it is. And it goes right back into it really quickly. It doesn't do the full walk up. It just goes down a half step to the 5, back to the 1. So it plays it a little safe. Into the solo.
Social life, I guess we can pretend it's not like I care, but anyway, you always wanna leave, you never wanna stay, cause you think if you drink too much, then you will lose it.
That flat 7.
You'll drink your security away. The one companion that's stuck by your side.
And that's kind of where I lose the plot in terms of like, is it transitioning to a different point of view? It's just the one companion that stuck by your side since you were born, the little voice inside your head, annoying and confusing, that somehow tells you what to do. I think that's just like a roundabout way of saying, I'm being hard on myself, but I don't want to be, so it's like some other entity just coming into the fold. And then it kind of ends on this really open note. See what happens musically.
The one companion that's stuck by your
that same move. That's a great melody. I don't know if it was the same as last time. I was maybe distracted with that E major thrown in, but the way it ties that whole phrase up, again, the E major happens. What that means, you'll never have a clue, but the melody there, maybe it jumped out to me more this time. Because it's really pretty. It just works, right? They were tagging it there, and it just reprised. Like, this was already kind of a late in the game thing to happen. So they reprised something that kind of happened in the bridge part of the song, maybe 3/4 of the way through. That's a cool way, a really clever way, songwriting wise, to wrap this up. Let's see what happens. Yeah, listen to that. Now it's really going between the half steps. What that means, kind of just. It's like a helicopter waiting to land. Don't have a spot open yet. You're just waiting for that resolve there. Right here. What that means you'll never ever. What that means you'll never ever. What that means you'll never. Ooh, then it just takes a whole new direction. I like that there. You'll never ever. What that means you'll never ever. What that means you'll never have a clue. That's just really well written. I mean, Wow. That really was a nice song. I mean, there's a sincerity to Tony Sly's writing that's hard to ignore. The melodies feel immediate, the delivery feels as real as it gets, and the emotional weight sits kind of front and center without ever feeling overstated. It just kind of is what it is. But it's time to move on to Strung Out's version. Their take appears on the Songs of Tony Sly, a tribute from 2013, and that was a project that brought together many, many bands influenced by his songwriting. And knowing Strung Out's more heavier technical approach, I'm curious whether they lean into that side of things a bit more or preserve the original feel, especially given the different spirit around this release. This could really go either way, but without further ado, let's hear Strung Out's take on Soulmate. Oh, man. Wow. I mean, same key. We're definitely down here in A flat, but they just took that breathing space of a straightforward, anthemic punk rock thing where you could find the space and just nestle into it, right? Strung Out have this tendency to find the space and just take things up to 11. I love all the guitar, ornamental things they add, the dual leads. I think from the first track I ever heard from them, Firecracker, way back when on the channel, that was the first thing I remember commenting on. They just have a regal elegance about the way they orchestrate their lead guitars, and it's just always very tasteful, even though being sometimes very technical. I kind of heard this big bass drop thing here. Let me start that over. They have already kind of leaned into something more here. And the faster kind of double time beat here. Yeah, you hear that 808 drop there? Boom. Yeah, that. They're on a different open string, I presume, from me, but that ticket, great stuff. Harmonized. Okay.
Monday morning you woke up crying, the outcome of some stupid line. Oh, step by some punk ass on the street. If it wasn't me, it wasn't you, it wasn't anybody, it wasn't your friend insecurity. Don't want companion. That's not.
Okay, staying true to the framework, going to that flat 7. I think it's just got more guitar orchestration. They are just so good at that because it's very easy to add more to a song and just kind of ruin it. And then there's a way to add more to a song that augments it. And there's a very fine distinction on what that can be. And every time I hear them do something, which has been a couple covers, but even their own music, I find there's sections they'll run into that just, it feels like a lot's going on, but it's all very tasteful. I mean, there's an art to that, right? Let me make sure there's nothing lurking underneath here I'm missing. I hear the bass tone pumping out quite a lot more than the previous version. It's obviously newer production. That's the same. Like these bass drops, these kind of 808 things. Boom, you hear it. Maximum impact there, right back to the guitar leads.
Tuesday now you're in a fight. The same old argument, just black and white. Something that's eating you inside.
Some harmonies there, which, you know, I felt like the Tony Sly performance and maybe some of the other tracks I've heard from these for Name, he just relies on the singularity of his voice. I think that's that aids in the delivery of his vocals and lyrical messaging, feeling just like very singular. There's nothing in the way to get through to the messaging, right? You start adding harmonies and big things and things that can kind of be like more about a musical thing than a messaging thing. So that's a tightrope you have to walk. But this is a cover, and Strung Out have just, as they did with the Ozzy version, they just add more subdivision, more layering, more vocal stuff, and they're really damn good at it. Again, you can really screw that up if you try in the not right way. But I like it. It livens it up. lead there. There's some things that aren't in the original. They're subtle. Again, it's letting the framework of the song bleed through and breathe, but with their own take on it. So far, I like it. Okay. Ooh, that's a nice chord there. What chord was that? Kind of that major second there, some sort of, I don't know, you hear in the vocal harmonies there, it's just rich sounding. A suspension. I was going to say, this is just nice. Just kind of letting it wash over me. What do I want to say? I don't know. They just kind of filled in all the gaps with the right stuff. Like it's like when you're ordering a burger somewhere and they're like, you want the special sauce on it? You're like, hell yeah, I do. Well, this is kind of like the special sauce. Just kind of livened everything up. All the elements that were very musical about it that stayed clear of the vocals being direct, kind of down here. If this vocal's here on the original, it's like they just come around and just come beside everything and just widen the whole presentation. So it makes everything hit harder, but it's maybe just a bigger focus on the musicality of it and letting all those counter melodies just support the catchiness of the main melody. And the vocal performance, Jason Cruz, great. I was really impressed by him hearing Twisted by Design. He has such a versatility. Like, he can sound like a lot of different people to the point where I was like, is this a different singer on some of those songs? I remember that episode. Okay, go through it. Okay, nice bass exposed in here. I was just going to say, it wasn't too long of a lead. And how long they maybe change something can be a huge part of it too. Don't go on and on and on. Maybe have an 8-bar moment to say, hey, we're taking a bit of a liberty, even though I think it's structured the same, but they just put more of that, ear candy lead stuff happening, just such tasteful stuff, the harmonics there, but they cut it short. It doesn't drone on. It takes some self-awareness when you're covering someone's song. Like, what can you get away with? And it's just short and sweet. I kind of want to go hear it because it wasn't too long. You don't want to be like, oh my God, I'm glad that's over, right? You want to be like, let's rewind and hear it again because it was really sick. Yeah, the whole way they chugged that part too. Short and sweet, right? I like it. Bass by itself a little. I can hear the tone a bit, and again, I've got this new bomber bass. Joe Raposo from Lagwagon. He's got a new company, Bomber Basses. Go follow that on my Instagram. I got to give him a plug for a second, but this is my 3rd video with it, and it just has more of that jazz bass. It has more of that kind of jazz bass rattle thing that I'm kind of missing in my arsenal. I'm just so glad I went with the PJ pickup scheme because it just has, like, I don't even have to really dial anything on this amp too much. And I don't think I even would. I mean, there might be a little overdrive on it, but right out of the box, I feel like I'm just kind of right in the ballpark of that tone. This is Chris Aiken on bass. And I think he's just always used P-bass, jazz bass, Fender stuff. So let me go back and hear the tone by itself, which you didn't get that in the original song. A little. Did you go up to the 4th? Whatever, nice little accent right here.
social life, I guess we can't pretend. It's not like you care, but
Like that drum fill. Sorry, there's a lot of cool things happening here.
more than just a lifelong friend. No social life, I guess we can't pretend. It's not like you care, but anyway. You never wanna leave, you never wanna stay. But you think if you drink too much, then you will lose it. Drink your security away. The one companion that's stuck by your side since you were born. That little voice inside your head, annoying and confusing. But someone tells you what to do. So
That was great. But I think he was using that as a fill to walk it down like, ooh, just like it. How it's kind of blossoming here. A lot going on.
but someone tells you what to do. Socially,
Yeah. Dang it, I hit a button again. This happened. What button am I hitting? This happened on the last episode. I'm fat fingering it. Okay, here we go.
socially, you've lost your mind and basically you're out of time. You try to build so much it breaks on you. What that means you'll never have a clue.
Classic thing again, just taking 3 notes, letting the chords change under it, and it just becomes something different every time. Versus, or. You know, every scale degree kind of makes that little lead they're doing up there. Kind of makes it all sound different. It's a powerful motif.
What that means you'll never have. What that means you'll never.
Oh man. Wow. Well, that was a fantastic episode to end this month's theme on, which has been Who Wore It Better? I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's just been something fun. And it was great to hear Strung Out close this up. Again, I really enjoyed hearing their take on Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. I feel like that was already a natively heavy song, and they took it even heavier. So if they took it from here to here, I feel like they did that same distance on the No Use for a Name song, which was less heavy, but they got this much heavier. And just added a lot of extra layers that I think drove home the poppy progression and drove home the catchiness of the vocals. And I'm really dreading this part, but I have to get it out of the way. Who wore it better? This might be a blasphemous answer, but I'm going to give it the Strung Out just on the music. But I think that's a nod to Tony's great songwriting that was laid before them to come in and have a field day to make an already beautiful arrangement even more thick and more dense and more better. I would love to know what the song was actually about, but even standalone, it really had a nice beginning, middle, end kind of feel to the whole thing and left you on a question, which I think is self-referential to the theme. I feel he wrote some really timeless stuff that will always resonate with people no matter how much time goes on. And it's up to us to keep these things going and keep talking about the music created by those who have passed on. So great to have another entry into the No Use for Name catalog. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. We are back to regular programming here on the channel, back to single songs with a few other new things throwing in the next few months. But if you enjoy what I do, come hang out with us on Patreon. It's the best way to support the channel, patreon.com/LoneUniversity. We do full albums every month, sometimes 2 albums. I have bass lessons, music theory lessons, and just an amazing community of great people. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel while you're here. Hit the bell notification, like the video. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.